All right. Welcome, everybody, to our live. We are going to be trading live for CPI data that is about to come out. Yep, coming out very soon. And we're going to be live during the event. So, let me share my screen. And Austin is joining now. Okay, welcome, Austin. We are live, just so you know.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, we are live, and I'm gonna share the screen in a moment.
Alrighty.
So, yeah.
I'm excited for today's news.
Well, I think we have a pretty good idea that it's going to be pretty volatile. So let's see if I can share the screen first. What am I looking at? Yeah, so we are looking at Bitcoin right now, and pretty aggressive down, I would say, but has not broke that 18441. I think what will be interesting to see if we break that during the live release of the CPI data. That's what I'm most curious to see what's going to happen. Of course, I have personally made orders, and if in case you want to trade this live, I do believe that we may get wicks all the way down. The big question is, are we going to break that level, which is our lowest point from the early beginning? We can see, actually, we could raise that a bit. We could raise that right here. So that'd be 17,538. So I've got orders there. And but one interesting thing that people may have not noticed is that even with everything going on, we have not broke that red line, and that red line goes all the way back to the top. I mean, you could debate whether the line is perfect or not, but it does go all the way back to the top. You see that? We have the connection to the all-time high on the top here. We have a connection here, and then we finally broke down here, broke up rather, and we have not went below again. So is it possible that was the low point, 17,538? I think anything's possible with Bitcoin. But yesterday, for our members only, we made a video and told them that not all of the indicators kicked in, and we have about, I don't know, 35, 40 indicators that we were looking at, and so not all of them have kicked in. So another 9 minutes before we can announce that. Correct, Austin? I want to make sure the time is correct. 9 minutes, right?
It is 9 minutes. Yeah,
Yeah, 9 minutes
8:39.
from now, we will be announcing basically the CPI data, and you'll be able to see how volatile and how we're going to trade. But I will tell you, as far as trading and how to trade this is, I have orders that have already kicked in at this level, and I have orders already set at this level too, and I have orders below that as well at 16,777. And I will also say that it is very possible that Bitcoin does crash all the way to 13K. I don't think it will do that in just one day. Even if it does crash, it would take a few days to get there, and but eventually would reach the 13K. So I have, if you're part of a member and pay to trade, and many of them are probably online right now, say hello if you're online, so I know you're on if you're a pay to trade member. But I've been telling them to be very cash positive, more so than invested. Yes, we've been buying, but not aggressively, I would say, because it's too risky that we go down to that, to that 13K level. So if you're online, say hello. Where are you from? Which city are you from? What country? And we like to know that, of course. But because we have people from all over the world joining us, probably. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to, while we're waiting, we can talk about the different indicators that are very important and that we constantly need to look at. And one of them is our DXY, which is the value of the dollar. We are definitely in uptrend still, even though we're red here, probably because people are trying to buy the dip, but the dip sometimes is not the dip. So you got to be careful on that. But if we zoom out to like, let's say 1 week, we can see even we can go 1 month. So to see like a very macro level view of the DXY, we can see that it has went much higher in the past. So to say that we've reached the top, I'm not sure that I believe that. I think there is a resistance there, but I think it's also very, very possible that the DXY goes all the way up to 163, right? So what happens is that this is the most accurate indicator to let you know when a trend reversal is coming. So basically, when the DXY is going up, all the financial assets are going down pretty much. You could argue with gold and silver. You could certainly do that. But for most part, all the financial assets go down. So if the DXY goes up, all the financial assets go down. Now, if it goes down, all the financial assets go up. So this is a very easy way for people to understand how to trade and make money. And I said cash is king until a reversal. So are we going to reverse from here? Or are we going to go all the way down here? So this is not, that's why we need more than one indicator to trade. So there are many, but that is one of them. So as far as other indicators that we need to look at, and some of you have felt the pain of this, let's zoom out of this one a little bit, which is the Bitcoin dominance. And what I mean by that is that basically what it means is that if the Bitcoin dominance is going up, altcoins are going to bleed very much so. And we can see that from our altcoin list right there, that some of the altcoins are very much down today, like, 7, 8, on our list here. Some are not so bad, but some are doing really bad. And they went down a lot. Uni went all the way down, quite a bit. We can see that very clearly here. So, but anyway, for me, I wouldn't be buying altcoins until we can confirm a bottom. But let's say that Bitcoin goes to 13K. The problem with buying now is that it means that probably our altcoin could go all the way down back to that or even lower. So that's a 40% down. So why would you risk it? If you're going to be buying and DCA into the market, I would just stick with Bitcoin, because even if Bitcoin goes to 13K, you're not going to see as much as a dip as altcoins. And so, yeah, so I understand that we don't know. The truth is nobody really knows. We can all speculate, but we don't know how people are going to get fearful, especially if the CPI data is below expectation, right? Like, let's say that the expectation is that is going to be I forget what the expectation was. I had the data here. We have core CPI data, and can we check into what was the last month one? Core CPI. Hold on.
The core inflation?
Yeah. So I think
So the core is expected to go up slightly.
Yeah, 0.1 if I remember correctly. So what is the prediction is that
we're at 6.4.
Now people may not understand. Yeah, so is it 6.4? What was it last month? That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, we're at 6.4.
6.4.
6.4%.
So if the CPI data, right, is going to go down, then what that means is that we need to be more careful about. Well, that would be good, but if it's going up, I mean, then more than 0.1, which is the expectation, then in that case we could see a much further crash in crypto first, because the markets won't open until 1 hour after, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Like the S&P 500 won't open until an hour after we know what the CPI data is. But, the crypto will crash first before the markets. So All right, let's see what we got here. Joel Robinson says, good morning. Let me move that up. And on and watching. Okay, we've got Dave Wright from Seattle. Welcome, Dave from Seattle. And Rich and Happy, one of our pay to trade customers. Well, I'm not sure if Dave is a pay to trade member, but we got Rich. Where are you from, Rich? S&P 500 is up. Has the S&P 500 opened yet? I don't think so.
The future.
Oh, the futures. Okay. But the traditional markets on S&P 500, we have been struggling with a lower low, right? You can see very clearly if we look at it, right? That was, there's 3 low points. That's the first one. Then we have a second one, which is a lower low, and that's the third one that we've been struggling with recently. And I think you get less volatility on here, but Bitcoin has been holding better than the S&P 500 actually. But that doesn't mean if there's volatility on the S&P 500, I think Bitcoin could go down radically fast. Okay, very radically fast. And so we can see, because we didn't do a lower low on Bitcoin, right? It just does not happen. Yeah. We have
Okay, it does look like so inflation just came out now, and it looks like core inflation did go up to 6.6.
core inflation was up to 6.6. Okay, let's put the numbers, of course. So core inflation 6.6. We'll add that there. And total inflation numbers.
My total
CPI
isn't updating right now.
Okay. I mean, Bitcoin is holding. We haven't broke 18K yet, but it is very low. It is going down. It's 18,255, 249. How come you don't got the data? What's going on? How could you get core and not the total one? We need to know.
I just got an update on my computer.
Ah, shit. Okay, let me find out. CPI report drops current live. Just check on your phone. $8.6, I think. Is it?
Hang on. $8.2 is what it came out. So it dropped 1%.
It did. Wow, 1%. That should be very.
Well, 0.1. Sorry, 0.1.
Oh yeah. So it didn't drop a lot, but the core inflation is up, right? So that's what we expected. Yeah. But look at that. The Bitcoin is still breaking down. And this is normal. That, you know, it may go down and then it might go up again depending on what the S&P 500 will do later on. So what you're seeing right now is very, very like normal. We saw that last month when the CPI like data came out. All of a sudden, the panic sellers sold. But what's interesting there is that we did break the red line now. So yeah, I've got my next order at the 17K, a couple of them, 2 different price. I've got a higher one at 17,900, some 930, I think, and another one at 17,777. So I've got the lowers, a couple of orders there. One of them has already kicked in, of course, at the 18K level. But yeah, so, you know, as we're looking at that, you can see that, you know, it's very volatile. It may go there, then it may bounce all the way back up and then break through that yellow line. Like it literally could like happen, guys, because the data is not that bad. There's no reason to panic really. But the oil price are questionable Dogecoin Gaming says I have one for 17.77 as well. Yeah, good price. Of course, Dogecoin Gaming is in our pay to trade members.
Seeing a big bounce on the Bitcoin right now.
Well, it's not big enough yet. I think if we get over back on that red line, which wouldn't surprise me, it's very volatile this time, right? So
Oh yeah.
Meta Gold washed my money away. Yeah, well, you should join pay to trade. I mean, Meta Gold is still part of the shit coins. Sorry to tell you, but they are. So if you don't know the difference, then you should learn what the difference is. I'm not putting Meta Gold down because I created it, but they're not a layer one crypto or even a layer. They're a layer two, but they're not a core layer two. I'm afraid some of you don't know what the difference is. So you should learn by becoming a member of Pay to Trade. That's my response to you. All the layer two, which you could consider a layer three really, but it's more of a layer two. All the shit coins are down. I mean, you could say, come here on my channel and say, oh, I bought your MetaGold or LockPay, it's down. Every coin is down. So, and unfortunately, if you're one person who, let's say, put all your money in a shit coin, then I'm sorry that you're very uneducated. That's the truth. And you may not want to hear that, but that's the truth. We tell our members, pay to trade, you shouldn't put more than 2 or 3% of your cash that you're trading with in any shit coin. That includes our coins as well. And you should not put the entire 2 or 3% in one shit coin, because shit coins, you can turn $100 into 100,000. It's very possible. It rarely happens, but it's very possible. But definitely not during a bear market. When we find a bottom of the bear market, which could be 13K, it could be 16, it could be that we've already found the bottom. All those are potential are potential scenarios. But in the pay to trade members, we are telling people to be more cash positive because not all the bottom indicators kicked in. But even when we find the bottom, some of you need to understand that these shit coins, they'll be the last to pump. Bitcoin will pump first. And then you'll have layer ones that are going to pump after. And then layer two will pump. Shit coins will be the very last to pump. And they may not pump very well either. So I think there's so many uneducated people in crypto. And you're not an investor. You're a speculator. And there's a big difference between being an investor and a speculator. A speculator is you buy and you hope. And an investor, you know how to assess the risk of a crypto investment. And I think, no offense, but there's a lot of idiots who are speculators hoping to get rich, who don't know what they're doing at all. And I understand, because I was one of those persons too when I first started. I didn't understand how crypto worked. That's why we created Pay to Trade. And I'll leave the link so we could educate people, because there's a lot of dumb people. And there's a lot of smart people too who sign up for this Pay to Trade because they want to learn from somebody who has made millions, and they want to learn how to make millions too. But education is more important than one particular crypto. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's my own creation, it doesn't matter. It's about education. It's about being a great investor. It's about not losing money. Everybody lose money in crypto, but if you say I lost all my money away because I invested in your coin, you're an idiot. I'm sorry to tell you. You really are. You should have never done that. So what you do is you should learn to become a professional investor. And some of you listening to me, you know I'm right. You know that I'm saying the truth. You may not want to hear it, but that's what the truth is. Dogecoin Gaming says straightforward and to the point. Gotta love it. That's right. I don't know what to say to people who buy shit coins, whether it's my own or not, and then it crashes. Over 95%. What did you expect? If you couldn't understand what a top was or what a bottom is, then you need to educate yourself in your crypto. That's just the truth, right? Because people come in come on YouTube, social like media, and they like to talk whatever they want to say. But one thing people should understand is that this is my job. I'm a professional crypto investor. That's what I do. That is my core job. Creating crypto was a hobby for me. It's not a full-time thing. And why I created these cryptos, because I was trying to make things better, especially the lock pay, which had the ADM. Didn't work out in the bear like market, but the ideal was pretty good. So we're trying to solve problems. Anyway, we're not here to talk about lock pay.
Um,
We're here to talk about crypto.
yeah, back on that topic of crypto, how do you think, looking at the October numbers, how do you think that'll affect November's numbers, and where do you think it's going?
Well, I think the price of oil has been going up. I think Saudi Arabia made their point very clear that they're not going to pivot on their price, and that's it. And then America is threatening them by taking some of their soldiers away from Saudi Arabia, stop providing with like weapons. And Saudi Arabia went on the news and they basically said, we don't think they're going to do that. We got 30,000 Americans living in Saudi Arabia. Our alliances are too strong. so so they doubled down. Saudi Arabia doubled down on their oil stance, right? What is that called? Where all the countries decide the price. They said we didn't personally like decide it, right? So we could look at the price of oil.
And that's interesting too because CPI, for those of you who don't have the data in front of you, so all urban consumer goods rose by 0.4%. And what drove the inflation going down was gasoline and energy going down. So, assuming that gas is going to go up as a result of all of this news that we're talking about, that would mean that inflation is expected to go up. There's no reason to believe that it wouldn't.
Well, I don't know. I mean, the U.S. made some very big threats to Saudi Arabia. I don't know if that's why the price is going down, but they were not. They were all very direct on the consequences. So I'm not sure if that's why the price of oil is going down. Because what we're looking at right now is the price of oil is going down. So there's a big euro going up that was put like before there, but we can see it's going down a lot. So not sure the politics behind all this, but to say there's no politics, come on, there's like politics. And the U.S. they doubled down on their threats. I mean, I know Saudi Arabia thinks that there's 30,000 people like living here, our alliance. You think the government gives a shit about those 30,000 Americans living there? They don't give a fuck. Who gives a shit? You know, all they give a shit is that they win the election and they need good data. They need the oil price to go down. If they can't achieve that, it shows incompetence on the Biden administration. So, yeah, I think the November is going to be very interesting. I'm not going to make. I don't guess as an investor. I observe. So rather than saying what do I think is going to happen, I will just observe the oil price. Right? If the oil price keep going down, then the data in November might be good. But if they don't figure out how to bring the price down, then the November may be neutral or very bad. So I'm expecting I was expecting a last good 3 months of the year. Yeah, I was expecting a last good 3 months, but I don't control the price of oil. I will say like that. Yeah.
I lost you for a second there. My mic cut out, but I did hear you talking about observing the markets, and I think that's probably the best thing.
Yeah.
It gives an idea for people to know what to be out on the lookout for, because inflation has been going down slightly over the last few months, and that's a result of the gas prices going down. So if you see those oil prices go up, you can bet your bottom dollar that inflation's also going to go up, which is not a good sign for the U.S. economy.
Yeah, for sure. So now so the futures market is open positive, you said?
Someone did say that. Yeah, I didn't fact check it. I would imagine that it did.
And the total crypto market is way down, right? Like we went down we lost like 13.6, almost 20 billion down of the total market. So people are like selling, right? Our our USDT dominance going up a lot. So it means people are getting out of the crypto, right, and cashing out. I wouldn't react. I haven't sold anything. I've been accumulating, but I didn't get a chance to sell. So I'm just not going to sell. If I didn't get a chance to sell what I hold,
Hmm.
but I'm very cash positive, right? So, yeah.
Richard now says that it's close to 3,500, so it's gone down since.
What has?
The S&P 500 future
Okay.
is now close to 3,500.
Yeah, it's very volatile during this time. So it will go up, then it will go down, then it will, it might go up again. Who knows? It's so if it's down, the S&P 500 might open negatively in the. Well, that's not for another 45 minutes, but yeah. Oops.
It's interesting though that to note as a trader the effect of inflation on the market, right? Like every month now, I have to mark my calendar, you know, if to be very careful around the 13th of every month,
Absolutely.
especially in a recession slash bear market.
Yep. So, how many people? Okay, so yeah. Anyway, that's what we got. CPI data 8.2. You can see that. So I mean, how do you interpret that? Well, it's tough because the oil price are being manipulated in a way to go up higher. Now, even though they've been going down, we'll see how long that will last. And the war in Russia is not helping the energy prices at all. So, but things could change very fast. You know. So the question is, was this the top? And it's possible that it wasn't. It's possible that it will go up, but it is went down a little bit. So we might. It's possible that November goes up, December goes down. So what we'd be looking at is getting lower highs and lower lows. We don't have a clear trend change yet at all. So I can't say with definite that the inflation has peaked. But traditionally speaking, in the S&P 500, when the inflation peaks, that is that is when that is when and I'll open a new pane. That is when traditionally that we reach the bottom, okay, or close to it. Like an example here, and the bottom is reached. Right? It wasn't exactly because the bottom was here, it was close. So you're either close or you're not far. So this is another example. Inflation peaked here, the bottom was here, and then we had a pump. Inflation came back up, so we had it. It kind of screwed those like numbers, but yeah, it did kind of go down here, and then that was the peak, and then it went down, and then it went back down again, and went up again. So yeah, when the bear market is caused by inflation, and that's what this is all caused from, by printing too much money, then we are looking for the peak of the inflation. So it's why the CPI data are so important. It's why a smart money looks at the price of oil, right? See what's going on. So anyway, that's what investors are thinking and looking at, right? So yeah, that's where we
I will
are.
add this though.
Let's see on a 5 minute.
Jerome Powell made a speech talking about stagflation,
Yeah,
and I think stagflation, what it really does is it buys time for the Feds to raise rates to reduce demand. I think long-term macro, looking at the economics and what the Feds are trying to do with monetary policy, is they're trying to hike rates as high as possible to reduce demand.
that's right. And we had this conversation about that, right? Like, so they need to bring the price down. So the way they do that is by raising the interest rates. And but we also talked about the supply chain. I mean, so Khaled is saying his market will dump or go up. It's possible it goes up, but so the dilemma that a lot of people might be facing is that if they don't buy, then they miss an opportunity to buy the dip. If they buy and it breaks the 17K level, then they're in a loss, at least a temporarily unrealized loss, unless they sell at a loss, which I wouldn't recommend. So for my pay to trade members, those people who are in my crypto trading coaching on a Telegram group, we told them to be 80% cash positive. Now some of them have started buying the dip, right? Because they follow my trades, and I've been buying at the 18K level. So I bought at 18,777. That was one of my prices. And so I may consider buying more at the 18K like level. I just want to see first what's going to happen. And after the S&P 500 opens, I want to look at that. Yeah, that's really funny. I got my big screen TV open, and I just came on my TV because I guess my YouTube channel. I'll just show you guys. I'll just show you. It's pretty funny. I just came on the TV for no reason. So yeah. Yeah, you always have to take nobody takes the risks for you. That's true. You know, it's definitely true. You have to take your own risk. But I'm taking the risk. You see, we have in our pay to trade, we measure in a paid members, we measure the risk level from zero risk to one risk, and we're just right now. I want to look what the risk level is. Do you know? Are we below 0.2 yet? I don't think so, right?
We're getting close.
We're very close to 0.2 risk. So it's a low risk level, but traditionally, past bear markets, Bitcoin can go all the way to zero risk. And zero risk is right now at 13K, I believe. So, and this is very important you understand that 12.5K is zero risk. Now, I'm not saying it will go to 12.5. I'm just saying that is kind of a worst case right now, right? I don't think it will go below 12.5. I will say like that. I don't think it will go below zero risk. Okay, so I think it may not even go to like zero risk. It may go down to 13K. It's very possible. So yeah, let's see. We're at 0.2 risk, 0.2 risk right now. Yeah. Which is 18,630 is 0.2. The next level down, 0.175 is 17,342. That means we would go down to the 17K level, which I've talked about before. And yeah, we're looking 5 minutes. If we go 4 hour, you can share my screen so you can see that this would be the next 0.175 risk rate there. We are currently at 0.2 risk, which is very low. Very low. If you look at fair value, right, we are way below fair value. The low point of the fair value, Bitcoin is worth 36,794. So if you measure from here to where we are now, it's like 51% below fair value at the low point. If you take the midpoint, which would be really what we should do, then Bitcoin is currently 59% below fair value. That would be like buying Apple minus 59% discount. You get what I'm saying? The only difference is that this fair value is based on a logarithmic scale and, you know, not based on earnings like Apple. So it's not 100% dependent like Apple is. But yes, we do have this data that shows us the fair value, as you can see. So for me, rather than saying, is Bitcoin going to go down? Is it going to go up? Yes, we do the technical analysis. What I will tell you, right, let me get rid of this. What I will tell you instead is like this, okay? Let's bring this up. Right now, we've broken the 18K. Do I think we're going to go to 17K? Yes, I do think so. But we've seen wicks before and it goes back up. So it may let's say 50 because we had a lot of wicks in the past that did the same thing. So we're not at a cross point of no return. We could go back in this and pump all the way back there and then go down, maybe pump back up after, or maybe down after. So, you know, we're not at a point of no return yet. So if we don't hold that, the next hold level is 17,538, which is where my orders are. Okay, I've got lots of orders at the 17K. Now, why would I buy at that level? Because I think it might hold at this level. You see what I'm saying? Otherwise, I would not buy and would just wait for it to go to 13K. You get what I'm saying? Or a lower price. But if it breaks that 17K level, now we're in a different point. Now our next buy level is very low. Now, I'm not saying I wouldn't buy at different prices. Of course I would. But my biggest buy orders will be right at this zone here, you see? I might put 10% of my cash as it breaks below here, 20% of my cash, 30%. Then the rest of my big cash all goes at the lower like level. So you DCA as it goes to the zero risk like level. You get what I'm saying? Because everybody's saying it will go to 13K, and it probably will if it breaks. But there's no guarantee. So you don't want to miss this opportunity buying at super cheap price. And the reason I put most of my money there because I'm more certain that it wouldn't break that. So giving you guys a lot of free info. You guys should all be paying for that. Pay to trade, by the way. But from there, you can make a lot of like money. Okay? Even if it only goes back to the big resistance at 28K, it's 107%. Right? So that's where I'd be setting my biggest sales target, but I will have sales targets before that. But, you know, truthfully, you should be buying altcoins if it drops at a low price like that. Now you should not be buying altcoins, but to understand that, that's why you have to become a member of Pay to Trade. Of course, you don't have to, but it is what it is. So I make millions of dollars. I don't care if you buy or not buy the Pay to Trade. I put 80% of the profits back in LockPay. So I laugh at people who don't get that. You know, I mean, I have millions of like dollars. I live in a mansion. I drive luxury cars. I have a Rolex solid gold that is probably worth more than most people's cars. So you think I care what people think? I have FU like money. So FU. Or you're smart and you understand if you want to be rich, then model successful people, don't reinvent the wheel, and learn from them. That's how I got rich. I didn't get rich by being a cocky little shit, right? I got rich by understanding that if you want to be rich, you have to think like rich people. So there you go. Anyway, so that's where we are. That's what I'm doing. And hopefully you found this valuable. If not, then unsubscribe from my channel. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Make sure to subscribe if you like this channel and press the notifications on so you don't miss this event. And I'll see you in the next video. All right, guys. See you. Bye for now.